Good morning everyone, it's Lisa from Girl in the Garage. Welcome to my channel and welcome to all my new subscribers. So today we're going to be making plugs for our little lights to go into our creations. And a few of my subscribers have asked me how to do that, so I thought I'd do a little tutorial to show you how I make mine. So you might remember this little guy from a fair while ago I made in a video, and then this one's a more recent one which turned out absolutely gorgeous. Since then I've seen somebody else make one and put a light in it and then show how to make these lights. Obviously she read my comments and saw my video, but that's okay. Yeah, so I'm going to be using this little disposable medicine cup which happens to fit this little light, which is perfect for these guys because they're so small. So yeah, they don't take up much room, and I'll put a link for them where I got them in the description box. But first of all, to make this fit in there perfect, doesn't quite fit, but also it's got like some symbols that will come out in the plug and a couple of little things that are sticking out. So to start with, we're going to fill them up with resin just a little bit, so to make our plug perfect. So let me clear up this and I'll be back in a sec. Okay, so make sure your little cups are clean too, because any fingerprints or marks in them will show up in the silicone. So I've just made up 30 grams of Platinum 360 Plus because it sets up really quick, and I'm just going to pop a drop of alcohol ink in it, or two, and it's only to just so we can see what we're doing a little bit easier. So you don't need much in our little cups, we just sort of want it to get past. Hopefully you can see that little line that's in there. So we just want to fill them up enough to cover that little mark, and this resin doesn't have to be perfectly mixed, so I'll just pop that there, and we'll just fill these up till we're over that little line, and that way it's going to give our plugs a nice little top, and none of that, those marks will be transferred then into our resin project. So once this is set up, I'll come back to you guys and we'll move on to the next stage, which will be doing our silicone. So I'll see you back soon. So we're back and our resin has set. Sorry, I just had a random hair, as you do when you've got long hair. So as you can see, here's my little light, and it's a fairly small one. You get all different sizes, but these little medicine cups that I found, they're just perfect. So all I've done is I pop that in, and then you can see the little line that I've marked there, just with my Sharpie. So I've done that on all four of them. So I know to pour now my silicone up to that line. And so if you have a look at our frog, and this is the little light for the frog, so it'll go in like that. But you need to make sure that you've got whatever you're using your little lights for in your project, you've got to have enough space, like on the bottom, around the sides. So a little plug, there's the line, and it will go down a little bit further, and there'll still be space between the bottom of the mould and the plug. So that's perfect for that. And then there'll still be plenty of room around the sides as well for our resin and whatnot. So that's perfect. So you can use basically anything to make your plugs. It just depends on the size of your light. So once you order some lights or whatever, you just got to find some sort of plastic maybe container to do your silicone in. If you don't have plastic containers or something that you can pour silicone into, you can always use silicone release spray. And then you can pop it actually into a silicone mold. That's easier. But yeah, these are just cheap, disposable throwaways. And depending on your silicone, sometimes you can't get whatever you're making with the silicone out of the container. It's happened to me before, but these are breakable. Because when you buy silicone, it usually says the shore hardness. And what that means is it has a number on it. And the lower the number, the softer the silicone is. Now, this one doesn't say what it is, but I have used it before. And I've done another little plug. And it's quite tough. So I'm guessing probably around a 25. I could be wrong. I'm not an expert. Whereas I can't show you my other plug that is a lot softer because I'm using it in something else at the moment. And this silicone, it's tougher again. I can't quite remember what that one is. That one might be a 30. Oh, here we go. This is a 15, which is what my other plug is made out of that I generally use in my tutorials. So if you have a look at this one, that's real squishy. So that's a 15. And this one's a lot firmer. I'm squishing them both together. So yeah, you've got to be careful of that when you're buying silicone. If you can find out what the shore hardness is. With these plugs though, it doesn't really matter because I've used a hard one and I've used a soft one and I haven't had any trouble getting them out of my molds. But yeah, it's just something to be aware of. So this silicone, as I said, it doesn't say what it is, but I now know how tough it is because I've used it before. But I just got this one off Temu and they're 290 grams each. And it says it's food grade silicone, non-toxic, no odour and no bubbles. Well, it definitely has no odour and no bubbles. So yeah, I really like it and it was quite cheap. I think that those two, it was about $22 something. All right, so I've got to be fairly quick because I've only got half an hour if my room's 25 degrees Celsius, and it is. So I've mixed my silicone for 5 minutes. It's a 1-to-1. Curing time's 3 to 6 hours or longer, just depending on the size of what you're doing. And then you shouldn't use whatever you've made for 24 hours. Okay, so let's pour our little plugs. And they say to pour it slow and, you know, long continuous string or line. But as I said, this one's pretty good. I found that I didn't get any bubbles last time I used it. I was quite happy with it. And if you do get bubbles, you can use a torch or alcohol. Just got to be careful though, because you can burn it. I've got a straw and I just use that to blow the bubbles if I get bubbles. Whoop. Gone wobbly because I was bending down at my table level. Oh dear. That's all right. Got this little guy too that I'm going to make a mould with. I had another one, but I buggered it up. Let's just say. Oh dear. Which happens sometimes. I'm going to have to go right to the top because I want to make sure his little head's covered. Perfect. Well, there you go. That's how easy it is to make your little plugs. So I'll come back when it's time to demold these. So that'll be tomorrow sometime. And I'll show you what we have. But yeah, simple and easy. So something you can try. Yeah, get yourself some lights. Try and get small ones. I'll have a link for these little guys in the description box. That's if you can still get them. But yeah, shop around and see what you come up with. All right, see you soon, guys. So these have cured. So what will we get out first? Shall we do our little koala? Yeah, let's do him. So yeah, if I can't get it out, I can just break this because it's only plastic. Just loosen him up a bit. So yeah, it is quite robust, this silicone, and I'm sticking my nail into it. Bugger it. Let's just cut it. So I don't want to damage my little koala because he's actually he's a proper crystal one. And it's actually, it was given to my daughter when she was a little baby, so it's getting old now, and yeah, don't want to damage him. It's sentimental value, and I've just marked my mould. I'm a naughty, aren't I? So yeah, if you're worried about whatever you're trying to demold, and I think I was talking to you about the silicone release spray. So you can always spray that around whatever you're casting. So if you're excuse me, if you're actually using, you know, a silicone mold, then you've got to spray this on, or another brand. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, guys. I heard my husband coming, so I quickly pushed pause, and then I thought I started recording again, and then when I realised I'd already demolded. So I'm sorry, but yeah, he's come out pretty easy, and yeah, we'll have to pour this to see how it turned out, but it looks pretty good. It's come out all in one piece. I can see all the facets down in there sparkling, so yay. All right, let's get these guys out. Again, we can just cut them because we don't want to damage the sides of these ones because it'll transfer into whatever you're using them for. So just to be safe, I'm going to cut it. Now it is, you know, it's only plastic, so it does break pretty easy. Just don't cut yourself on plastic. But like I said, yeah, you can use anything. You can use a plastic cup, whatever vessel you have. If it's something that you can't break into, just in case, that's when you need your silicone release spray. So I remember a long time ago, I was making, I think, a coaster, and I used cake tin. Oh my gosh, it took the longest time to try and get that demolded, and yeah, and damaged the mold in the process of getting it out. So that's come out. I don't think I've damaged it. Nope. Look at that. Nice little plug. So it's a lot better than the one I'm currently using. So this was good until I decided to cut the top off of it to make it a bit smaller, because it wasn't the correct size. Or was it because it had marks? No, it had marks on it, that's right. Yeah. So I tried to cut it off, but yeah, a bit unsuccessful. But yeah, that looks a lot better. And as I said, this one's it's a squishier one. This one's more sturdy, so I prefer this for my plug, for my lights. Now, it's looking pretty good. So yeah, we'll have to make something and see what it looks like. I've got something on there already, or have I scratched it? I don't know. Hopefully I haven't scratched it, because as I said, it'll transfer. I think you can put silicone oil too. You can drop it down the sides, and that should release it. See if I can push it from the bottom. Probably can't because I've got the resin in there. What have I got? What little tool that won't damage? What about, where is it? Once I get it released all the way around, whoops. It's got it. Do this side off. Make sure whatever you're using, what tool is clean. Unlike Lisa, who puts dirty stuff in this and makes it all dirty. So yeah, being the harder resin, it would have made it easy if I had have sprayed these little medicine cups with the silicone release spray before I poured my silicone. And now I've just split the cup, but that doesn't matter. And I've buggered me glove. Lucky they're disposable. So yeah, that's just clean that off proper. But yeah, pretty good. Not too hard to get out. I'll do the rest off camera because you get the gist now. So I'll find something to pour in for this little guy, and we'll pour something in here and I'll be back. So I'm back quickly because I found my oil. So I just wanted to show you. So this one, that's the one that I had like the slightest little mark. Oh, there it is there on that side. It was right there. So I did that when I was trying to dig it out of the casting that I had it in, and I have scratched the top. So you just have to be wary that if you scratch your moulds, it'll transfer into your resin. For this, it won't really matter because it's just like the slightest little mark, and what I'm going to use it for, you probably won't even show up. But just be aware of that. And so I've just popped some silicone oil. So this stuff's great. It conditions your moulds, and yeah, it's useful for lots of things, demolding, whatnot. But also, I'll show you a little hack as well. This silicone oil too, you can get it anywhere. This one's just the Montmartre brand, but most people have it for their sewing machines and lots of other applications. So people that do paint pours, the acrylic paint pours, yeah, they use it too. So it's not, I think it's about $8 for a bottle like that. So handy little stuff. But see this mold here? So this is just an old one. So little hack, you want to shine up your molds again. Won't bring it back like new, but you'll get that shine back into it. And it's great for conditioning your molds. So if you do that after you use them, they'll last a bit longer. And you don't need much, just need the slightest little drop. So yeah, silicone oil, it's nothing special. Get it everywhere. That's awesome for your molds. So, I don't know if you can see that. And here's another one. It's still shiny, this one. It's not showing up in the camera, but like this one's heaps shinier. Yeah, and then once you do that, store it in one of these, airtight. Your molds will last longer and your shine will last longer. So if you ever demold anything, if you say you cast something in resin and you pull it out and it was in an old mold, so it's all dull when you demold it, a little bit of silicone oil and it'll shine that resin right up. So there's a little hack for you. Okay, so we're ready to demold this little guy. See if we can get him out. Oh, he's got ears and arms, so that's one thing.